Pastor Jason here. Thought we'd do another Bible talk today, looking at the book of Exodus. Remember, God has saved his people out of Egypt. They were enslaved in Egypt, and he brought them from slavery to freedom. And God is going to show them in this chapter how he wants them to live. So you get to chapter 19, they're at the foot of Mount Sinai. Okay, they're entering into the wilderness here, and at the foot of Mount Sinai, they're going to be there a while. Okay, they're going to be there through the rest of the book of Exodus. They're going to be there through the book of Leviticus and even up through Numbers 10. So they're going to be there for about a year. And as you're reading this, you're seeing them. They've come out of Egypt. And God's saying, this is what I want you to do. I want you to be a nation of priests. A key passage in chapter 19, verses 4 to 6. Remember, priests are those who mediate, right? They're a go-between between God and humanity. And so he's saying, I want you to be a nation of priests, right? And to represent Yahweh to the rest of the world. And this goes back to the covenant of Abraham, right? To bless humanity. And so God enters into covenant with them. And when you're getting to chapters 19 through 24, he starts to give all these laws, all these rules. And it's how he wants them to live. It might read like a legal code. That's because it is. It's how he wants them to live. He wants them to be a nation of justice, right? So you see the 10 Commandments in this passage, and it's just incredible. He's saying, okay, I want to be in covenant with you, and but I also want to dwell with you. So he's going to give them this long list, right, of how the tabernacle's to be constructed. Tabernacle was a tent. It was to be a special place of God's presence among the people. Say, I've covenanted with you, and now I want to dwell with you. And so he gives this long list of where's the altar supposed to go? What are the priests supposed to wear? Incense, etc. And you might say, what is all this about? It's all about God wanting to dwell with the people. Of course, there's a break in there, chapters 32 to 34. The people start saying, hey, where's Moses? Where's this guy that brought us up out of Egypt? And they don't know where he is. And so they start immediately breaking the very first commandment. They immediately start making an idol, this golden calf, and start worshiping other gods. And so God is going to judge them right at the foot of the mountain there. But then he's going to forgive them. Common theme through the scripture, you're going to see rebellious people, people of sin, and yet God forgives and God renews the covenant. You see this over and over. And God is going to bless them. He's going to still save and bless humanity despite their sin and rebellion against him. And so at the end of the book, when you get to chapter 40, you see the tabernacle's finished, but there's another problem that's going to happen. All right, God's coming to dwell amongst the people. Very powerful. You read about the fire and the cloud of God's presence, but nobody can go in, right? So why is that? Because we're sinful, right? And he's holy, he's perfect. And so how does a holy, redeeming, saving God dwell amongst sinful, rebellious people? And so you run into this problem at the end of the book of Exodus. Of course, Leviticus, the next book we're going to get to, is going to hint at the solution of that. It's going to be found through the sacrifice of a lamb. And so excited to see that. But the book of Exodus, how God saves his people, brings them from bondage to freedom, and then telling them how he wants them to live. Hope you're blessed in your reading. We'll talk about Leviticus in our next video. God bless you.